Hello, happy Monday to you, Ron from Ron's Choice. Today, I want to share something. You know, this whole coronavirus thing. I'm hearing several people that I know saying that they're confused because there seems to be a lot of conflicting information. A lot of what I see, basically I want to share with you how I guess, make decisions, compartmentalize things. Because I've noticed I'm doing the same thing with this whole coronavirus situation as I do with other things. You have to... It all starts with you to begin with. You're in control, so you have to look for clarity versus conclusion, because things are always changing. Now, sometimes we gain more clarity where, as some things are more defined, like exactly how to do things. And what I'm speaking to is, do we wear a mask, not wear a mask? Do we wash our vegetables, not wash our vegetables? It's just like anything else. You're going to have two sides. You'll have somebody that says do it, and you'll have somebody that says don't. It doesn't matter. When I started doing research on what food to eat, there were sites that said, there were people that said broccoli's not good for you. Don't eat broccoli. And of course, there are some that say it is good. Everything is relative. Everything, and this is just Ron's Choice, everything is centered on you. Okay? You're the most important thing in this world because that's you. Without you here, you're not here. You're gone, so it doesn't matter. And then it goes out from there. So you have to, you can start from you, but you have to make everything end with you. How does this affect me? How is it important to me? How does it benefit me? How does it hurt me? So you have to be able to look at everything objectively. Consider the source you're getting it from. I mean, if you watch Fox News, you get one thing. If you watch CNN, you get another. And they're both right, and they're both wrong, depending on what the subject is. They both manipulate video and audio to make things to get their point across. We do the same thing all the time, and we just don't realize it. We look for things. If we have a belief, we look for things that confirm that. We're always looking for confirmation. So you have to be able to look at things objectively, back away and say, is this objective, or is it based off of a belief, of a fear? So, masks, yeah, wear them. I mean, obviously they help. Will it stop everything? No. Does it make you impervious? No. Some of the arguments are it gives you a false sense of security. You have to be in control of that. You wear the mask so you don't spread anything and so you don't breathe anything in. I personally think that that's probably the lower chance of getting something, is having someone actually cough or sneeze in your face. I believe the most contamination comes from touching, just like the flu and everything else. Doorknobs, handles. I've always carried hand sanitizer with me. It's not like I sanitized my hand everywhere I went, but if I went to a large place, like if I took the kids, or if I go to an amusement park where everybody's touching the handrails, situations like that, I try not to use handrails because I know people, pick their nose, cough in their hands or whatever, and then they touch the handrails. There's no telling what nastiness is on that, whether it's coronavirus or not. So you have to, as far as sanitation, we just have to take that to another level. So now I carry hand sanitizer with me, and when I touch stuff, I sanitize my hands. So, and one of the reasons that I gained more clarity on that is when I went to Walmart. Walmart was doing their best in the efforts to follow by the 6-foot rule. So they had every other register open, so that we would be 6 feet apart. And, if you're behind somebody in your cart, that keeps your distance there. And they were trying to limit how many people were in the store, but obviously, Walmart usually only has every other register open anyway, right? But they might be side by side. They never have them all open. So I was wondering, why are these lines so long? So we're all congested in the clothes aisle. And, but what I noticed was when we get to the checkout that before she rang up the guy in front of us, the cashier switched. I believe it was after that. But either way, the cashier switched. A new cashier came on. Nobody sanitized their hands. Nobody sanitized the keyboard. So, and the other day when I was in there, I returned something. I used the pen. Nobody sanitized anything. So, I don't think that the Walmart employees were probably following the guidelines as well. So they're going in the office, the break room, or whatever, and they're all touching stuff. So, whatever's in there, they have. So now the cashiers change hands. She checks out the guy in front of me. No gloves on, which doesn't matter if you have gloves on or not. It's whatever's on the gloves or on your hands. If you touch one thing, you're going to transfer it to another. So obviously this guy and his wife put everything in their cart. So they touched everything in there. The cashier touched everything because it was on the conveyor belt. So then she touches everything, scans it, and puts it in bags. After him, she never sanitized her hands, never sanitized the keypad, never sanitized the credit card machine, and then started ringing my stuff up. So now whatever she touched there, she touched my stuff. And so anyway, my point is, it's your hands. So now, did I get upset? Did it make me more concerned? No, because where it comes to me, I know if I sanitize my hands and keep my hands out of my face, I'm okay. Because she didn't cough on me or anything. So I get my stuff home. This is where it leads me to the next thing. I watched a couple of videos, and they both contradict themselves. One guy says, yeah, take some wipes and wipe your food down, or wipe the cans down and put them away. Makes sense. Easy. It's done. The other one said, you don't have to do that. Just put your groceries away if you can avoid eating them for 3 days. So, okay, I go to buy groceries and I'm going to leave them in the cabinet for 3 days before I touch them. How do I know which ones I had there before? And, so it's like, just wipe your stuff down. No big deal. Then the next question came up, is should you wash your vegetables? Now, in the one video, the guy had oranges, and he says use soap and water and wash them. So that would sanitize the outside of the oranges. And when you go to eat your orange, you're going to peel it, so you're touching the outside, which is clean now, and then you're going to eat the orange. Well, the other doctor, which they were both doctors, says, well, you shouldn't ingest soap and chlorine and disinfectants, so that could be worse than actually the coronavirus. So don't wash your vegetables, just use water. So it's if some people, which I'm not going to mention names, but some people were watching it and they were like, well, see, I don't know what to do. This one says do that, do that. Anything that has a peel on it, wash it. What's it going to hurt? And soap and water, you wash your dishes, right? With soap and water, and then you drink out of them. It's like you have to look at things objectively and logically. So what's the problem with washing your fruit, especially if you're going to peel it? Now, would I wash, if I was going to do string beans, would I wash that in soap and water? Probably not. But by the time I cook it and boil it, it's going to be clean. So and then after that, then wash your hands, because if any contamination is on it, then you wash your hands. So that's my whole point here for this whole thing. We're being told over and over that it survives on stuff long, right? Boxes, paper, whatever. Whatever you touch, sanitize your hands afterwards. We all touch our faces. People do it all the time. They're scratching their eyes, they're rubbing their eyes, they're picking their noses, they're picking their teeth, chewing their fingernails. Those are the things that we have to, start to eliminate. So when we get beyond this, so we can go back to a normal life and still keep yourself safe. I realized that I was like, well, and I'm sure I do have a strong immune system, but I was like, well, maybe I don't get sick with the flu and stuff and not so much because of my immune system, but I realized that I do sanitize stuff, especially when, if I go stay in a hotel. I'm cautious when I'm on the airplanes, what I touch. When I go into heavily traveled places that are known to not be sanitary, I take wipes. I take small bottles of Lysol spray, travel size Lysol spray with me. So I was practicing that anyway. But with this coronavirus, you have to step your game up just a little bit, because it does hang out a little bit longer. So it's just you have to use your common sense. You have to step back from. Don't be attached to all the craziness that everybody's saying. Listen to it, put it through your filter, get what you can out of it, and see what makes sense. Wearing a mask is fine. I'm thinking going forward for a while, in large gatherings, people will probably wear masks because you're so close to each other. And if you're in a place like a concert or something like that, you're going to be close to each other for a long period of time. If we just keep our hands clean and keep them out of our face, that's going to eliminate a lot. So, now in a video the other day, I talked about the present. And if you break the word down, it's present. So the present, right now, is partly in due of accumulation of thoughts from before. So it was present. Now, with that in mind, we have to start thinking about what we're going to do going forward, because we're in lockdown now. Things are going to start opening up. Now, do we just trust that when they say, oh, it's okay to go here, it's okay? You have to make that decision for yourself. That's how this whole thing is. It comes down to a granular level. Some people are saying, oh, the president, the White House, the government should tell us exactly what to do. And they're like, we're a whole nation. We're 50 states. And, when this all started, the states were separate and decided to be governed by one body. So every state's a little bit different. And then from there, it goes down to each city's a little bit different. They have more people. They have different types of lifestyles. Down to the county, down to the smaller cities, and then down to yourself. So you have to know what situation you're in and what it comes down to for you, ultimately, what's the best for you. And you have to take comfort in knowing that if you go somewhere, if you do something, if you keep your hands clean and keep your hands out of your face and don't let people cough and sneeze on you, you'll be fine. And that's pretty much the rule for, catching the flu or anything else. So if you have to pre-send, you have to get prepared for what you're going to do in the future. If you're going back to work or whatever, what precautions you're going to take, get that set, get get yourself ready for that because it's coming. We're going to get over this. Things are going to change. Things are going to be a little bit different for a little while. I think it's going to open up slowly. Some things are going to open. Restaurants, they're probably still going to use just half of the capacity for a while because this isn't going anywhere. That's my other point. This is going to be around. The reason why they're taking such big precautions is for the spike in the dense areas like New York, the big cities, because the hospitals can't handle it. So they're trying to spread it out. They know a lot of people are going to get this, and a lot of people are going to continue to get it. So that's why once we smooth out a little bit, we can't just go straight back to normal because then we'll probably hit another spike. So if we do it slowly and people follow the rules, you've seen it. You see it in everything, everyday life, whether it's this or something else. Yin yang. There's always two sides. You got people that don't believe this; they're not going to do anything to be precautious, and then there's some people that go overboard. You have to find yourself in the middle. So this is going to open up slowly, and people are going to continue to get sick. And if you're not cautious, you'll be one of them. If you're cautious, I think you raise your chances of not getting it by a great deal. So, and it gets a little bit tougher because when you have people in your house, other people are going other places. But if you just have to take a few more precautions than you normally do. Keeping your hands clean and keep your hands out of your face. That's the biggest thing. Keep things wiped down. Life will get back to normal, but we got to get prepared because it's going to come, and we're going to get back out. People are going to be nervous. The people that are vulnerable now, they'll still be vulnerable then. We just have to keep our hands clean, keep our hands out of our face. No more of the 5-minute rule when food hits the floor. So that... I took some notes this morning because I had some ideas that... I basically wanted to touch on that because I see some people that they're very nervous. And, it's... the saying, it is what it is because it is, but it's not what it's going to be. And, it's my belief, Ron's choice, that everything comes down to you. You control for the most part. You take care of yourself. If you have the right mindset, and you take the precautions, you should be fine. Maybe I'll save this for tomorrow. A little teaser. Yeah, I'll talk about parallel universes. Because I find the truth in everything. There's two sides to everything. There's some truth to everything, because that's why we're here. As crazy it may seem, there's crazier things going on out in the world than this right now. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there, and that's the parallel universe. Not an alternate. Yeah, I'll share that with you tomorrow. So, be safe, be calm, breathe. I'm going to share that with you too. What's his name? Wim Hof. Some breathing techniques. Everything's going to be all right. Everything gonna be alright, man.